Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is October the 28th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Safe to say we got that lasagna today. Today went pretty swimmingly. Let's see. Despite the fact that we are in peak, I think just because the work that got done over the weekend at my job, it was more or less an easier day. Plus, I had like backup coverage the whole day, so that was nice in its own way, you know. Um, I will say it got to a point where like they even threw in another guy from another department, which I'm like, oh, great. I love it. I love that everyone just floats down here sometimes. This time, though, I wasn't like crotchety about it. I was just like, okay, thumbs up. And I literally just let them do all the work for me at that point. Like, once it got to that capacity, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go outside and get some air. And then I just wrote out the rest of my shift like a stoop kid or something. But yeah, overall, work was good. It was solid. I went to work out after that, like I want to do these days, and that also went well. That went good. Feels like I'm back. It feels like I'm back. Yeah, I woke up with the sore throat, a little bit of ick, coughed a couple of times throughout the day, but overall I feel good. I think I sound good even. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna roll the dice on that. Hopefully you agree. But yeah, overall good day, good vibes. Let's see. Food corner from last night. It was an interesting little scranny meal. I had popcorn chicken and I dressed it up. I dressed it up a little bit different. I put some onions in the mix. I put some jalapeno peppers in the mix and I sauced it down. I put some mango habanero sauce on there. I will say I put way too much wing sauce on it and like it was good on the first bites, but towards like by the time I got to the end of my meal, I was like, why are my lips stinging? Like, I love a good heat. I love a good kick, but like the makeup of this sauce it's got this dirty little sting to it where it's just starts stinging your shit at the end of it if you just eat too much of it. So I think next time moderation will just be key. I shouldn't slather it down like I did. But overall, and then I also added some banana peppers as well. It was nice. It was a nice little entree part of the meal. Then I had some French fries. I had some onion rings, and I think this is what really made it scran. Like I had the remaining baguette. I just like had that on there too. I will say my caveat here. I'm missing the Bolillo rolls a bit because they held a bit better in the refrigerator on the second pass. Like I was trying to eat through this toasted piece of baguette bread and it felt like I was like biting through wood. It's like Jesus Christ, my jaw is working overtime, but it was good. It was all fine. I can handle that. But yeah, overall it was a good meal. It was a good night. So overall the vibes are good. They're nice and tight. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup, and we'll get into some news. Hopefully that sounds good to you. I'm definitely like in the last like week of the month phase, and I realize like how broke I am. We're definitely just back on the big broke phase again, and I hate it. I hate being in this cycle of life where you're just constantly like worrying about money. You're constantly dreading like the next week, like am I gonna have enough to like make my ends meet, and then like okay cool, but am I gonna have enough like money to like then like have my little fun things. Like I don't have much. I have enough to keep me happy. I'm content, but like the second I don't have those things, I get really upset, or I'm at like, or I have a fear of like not, getting the things. I get upset. I'm materialistic in that way, but they're my little things. They're my little treats, and I'm nothing without my little treats. But let's knock on wood. Hopefully, everything kind of works out with the finances, and we pay rent and we get away. We get through. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. Y'all know I do. Y'all know I will. Anyway, let's get to this startup. Ooh, yeah. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Excuse me. Our first story comes from the Associated Press. Fires set in drop boxes destroy hundreds of ballots in Washington and damage 3 in Oregon. Incendiary devices were set off Monday at 2 ballot drop boxes, one in Portland and another in nearby Vancouver, Washington, destroying hundreds of ballots in what one official called a direct attack on democracy about a week before a heated election day. Now, today I learned that there is a Vancouver, Washington. I didn't know that till today. And two, that people are really fucking crazy. Like this is the kind of shit that actually is election interference. It's also insinuated that most likely, I mean, I was like, I can't say this for sure until, we maybe get more details, though. They did at least spot in one of these situations, like a suspect's vehicle. But it's insinuated, it's thought that most likely it was someone who is like of the conservative variety, of the extreme, variety, that felt like, well, ballot boxes are just a means of, doing election interference, so we need to blow them up. Which is crazy logic. Like, I do not know how you jump to these conclusions as an American citizen, and any citizen in any country, and you say, well, in order to save democracy, I have to disrupt democracy. Like, that's insane. And it doesn't matter whether you're a right-wing nut or a left-wing nut in this kind of situation. That does not make sense. It does not compute, dude. Like, that, you're just being a fucking silly, goofy goober. But yeah, let's dive in a little bit further. The early morning fire at the drop box in Portland was extinguished quickly thanks to a suppression system inside the box as well as a nearby security guard, police said. And just 3 ballots were damaged. So that's pretty light work, for something like that. Cool that the system, in terms of like the ballot system worked, like of the ballot box, like cool that just meant like, hey, 3 people are only going to have to potentially, request a new ballot and then fill it out. But it does get worse in the second instance. But within a few hours, another fire was discovered at a transit center drop box across the Columbia River in Vancouver. Vancouver is the biggest city in Washington's 3rd congressional district, the site of what is expected to be one of the closest U.S. House races in the country, between first-term Democratic Representative Marie Gluesenkamp Perez and Republican challenger Joe Kent. Let's see here. The ballot box in Vancouver also had a fire suppression system inside, but that failed to prevent hundreds of ballots from burning, said Greg Kimsey, the longtime elected auditor in Clark County, Washington, which includes Vancouver. He urged voters who dropped their ballots in the transit center box after 11 a.m. on Saturday, to contact his office for a replacement ballot. So hopefully people are on that, keeping savvy to the news. There is also a way to check that out, like if you've done an absentee ballot or anything of that nature. I know I'm kind of... Oh, no, I think it's specifically to Washington. I wish I had one that you could just go on. But I imagine you can Google your way to a site to find out and check, like, hey, is my ballot, counted? Am I good? Do I, need to, potentially request a new one? Let me see here. Let me get back to where I was. The office will be increasing how frequently it collects ballots and changing collection times to the evening, Kimsey said, to keep the ballot boxes from remaining full of ballots overnight when similar crimes are considered more likely to occur. Ballot drop boxes have faced increasing criticism from Republicans and have been the focus of baseless right-wing conspiracy theories in recent years, tied to former President Donald Trump's lie that the 2020 election was stolen from him. An Associated Press survey of state election officials across the U.S. found that there were no widespread issues with drop boxes in 2020 and none that could have affected the results. It's crazy because I've been listening to a lot of stuff like from The Daily and just other political podcasts. And it's wild to hear people who are in power in some of these, election offices and stuff, where you literally see that like the right wing theory of just the election was fucked over, was taken over, was hijacked by liberals, outside forces, like they have so many theories to match their crazy. And even though these theories have been debunked, they've been demystified, they aren't real, they go, well, jury's still out on that. And they work hard to get into any kind of position of power in the election process so that they can hawk over it, aka do their own version of election interference. Like, they don't say that, but that's essentially what their actions kind of show. At least that's the fear for me, that's concern for me. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to, continue to keep looking at these guys, but this was definitely the first situation that I heard, in this election campaign that, I was like, oh, this is actually the thing that people are scared about happening. It's happening. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think in the situation with, Vancouver, they spotted a Volvo. So, hopefully, yeah, I think I can just actually get to the point. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think I got it wrong here. Not in Vancouver. This was in Portland, Oregon, this part. Surveillance images captured a Volvo pulling up to a drop box in Portland, Oregon, just before security personnel nearby discovered a fire inside the box on Monday. Portland Police Bureau spokesperson Mike Benner told a news conference. The incendiary devices were attached to the outside of the boxes. The FBI is investigating. Let's see here. Guess, yeah, they go a little bit of fun facts about just how the ballot box fire suppression system works. The fire suppression systems inside the ballot I don't know why I keep getting tongue-tied on this. Ballot drop boxes in Washington and Oregon were designed to activate when the temperature inside reaches a certain point, coating ballots with a fire suppressing powder. So that's pretty cool science there. I like that this much technology is actually used to like keep my ballot safe. I think that's a cool idea. Though I will say for me, I just took my shit to, the post office, and I said, hey, I need to send this. And they said, okay, we got to give you first class shipping. And I paid $1.01, which I do think it's annoying that I have to pay for this shit. In my mind, this should be done American Idol style. I should be able to text my vote in, and then we're just like, we're done, lickety split. But I mean, I'm sure people would cry interference and blah, 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 that way. So, I mean, I get why we're not there yet, but one day, God damn it. But yeah, this is like my second time I've done it. I really don't freak out about it or fret over it after I've sent my ballot. That's just me personally. But like I said earlier, you can go on, like, once again, you got to Google it. I should have this shit at the ready, at least for my local Ohioans. But you can find and check the progress of your ballot. So, I mean, it's just like a fucking Domino's pizza or some shit. If you want to be that, anal about it, which I get it. If it's your quote unquote civic duty, then the government has a duty to make sure that your vote gets counted. I think that's totally fair. But yeah, in this situation, I really hope that anyone who potentially might have, had their ballot in jeopardy, that, you check in and you call, and, worst case, you can request a new one. And if you don't trust the ballot boxes after that, I completely understand. You can actually take your vote on the day or like before that, and do the early thing, like just go to, the spot you're supposed to go to. There's a whole lot of instructions for this shit, but you figure that out, you get it done, easy peasy, limitless squeezy, you're good. But it's a shame that this shit's happening. You know what I mean? Shit, I don't know how close we are. I know we're like, I think less than 10 days. It's counting down. There was another story that I could cover. There was Trump at Madison Square Garden. Fuck him. Fuck Tony Heathcliff. Just the crazy shit that is marketed as banter, is marketed as comedy, is marketed as just like, hey, it's just campaign political rhetoric, is crazy. Like, you can literally say Puerto Rico is an island of garbage, apparently. That's an okay thing to do. That is just good old politics in the GOP. Which is crazy that, once again, even that was like met with some boos, but it was also met with some raucous applause. You know what I mean? And then you see maybe some Republicans who actually like could lose their fucking position because of this come out and say, oh yeah, obviously that was a really bad joke. Oh yeah, no, that doesn't represent the GOP. But, yeah, I mean, that's just a guy saying that shit, saying anti-Semitic shit, saying shit about black people, that's just ordinary bullshit that you're going to see at a Trump rally, at a Trump fucking speech. But it's a close race though. Look, I get it. I know Kamala's not, maybe a lot of people's pick. I completely fucking understand that. But it's wild that you have someone like Donald Trump, and time again, there will always be someone out there to say, I mean, hey, at least he's a good businessman. I will never understand it, and I will at the same time. It just sucks. It just always sucks to fucking see, you know? But, that people love a populist. They just fucking do. It doesn't matter what they look like, where they are. They will just run to glaze a motherfucker like that off because they want to be that motherfucker. They want to empower that motherfucker so that they can be that way around him or about him for as long as that person's in power. They feel empowered by it. I don't fucking know. But, that's as much coverage as I really want to fucking do for that. You can obviously go look it up. If you're a Kill Tony fan, I don't know. Maybe unalive yourself. I don't fucking know. Just do better, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, to think a guy like that is funny to me is insane. To watch a motherfucker like that to me is fucking insane. But you probably like a bunch of other motherfuckers like that. So, I mean, by all means, I got a tomato for you and also a middle finger. But, like, whatever. Do you. Go off. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. I want to be done with the politics actually today. Let's talk about Mr. fucking Beast though. Let's fucking talk about Mr. Beast. Let's get back to the Lunchleys. Oh, it gets worse. It gets fucking worse. From The Independent, Mr. Beast and Logan Paul's Lunchables alternative immediately hit with mold complaints. It's crazy. Look, and by the way, I want to add, in previous when I was talking about Lunchley, when I've talked about Mr. Beast, none of that is in defense of Mr. Beast. I think at the end of the day, this guy is a piece of shit. But this is a piece of shit that we make, that we allow in the environment. Because at the end of the day, we all clickety-clack on the fucking YouTube. We can't eat without this motherfucker. And guess what? This guy lives and breathes YouTube. He's going to become the worst guy to make sure he gets the most clicks on YouTube. That's all he fucking gives a shit about. Like, that's what he made his empire on. And now he's just inevitable in that regard. But needless to say, like, obviously Prime is bad. Adding a fucking bad chocolate bar is bad. We can do the comparisons between Lunchley and the high sodium Lunchables that are also bad, but also sold to kids. But you got me here. There's fucking mold in the Lunchleys, and apparently they're not even fucking checking this shit well enough. Even though they're saying, no, we do the utmost that we can to make sure that Lunchley is a high quality product for the kids to eat. Bullshit, Logan. You eat one, nigga. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but that's crazy. Like, this ain't blue cheese, brother. This is bad. But let's get into it. In an attempt to create easy and healthy lunch options for children, YouTube megastar Mr. Beast launched Lunchley, a pre-packaged meal intended to be a better-for-you lunch option than Lunchables. But just 1 month after its release, Lunchley has already been fielding accusations that its meal kits contain mold well before their expiration date. Back in September, Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, I always hate saying his name, Jimmy Donaldson, teamed up with fellow influencers Logan Paul and Olajide KSI Olatunaji, to create Lunchley, a groundbreaking new better-for-you lunch option. The prepackaged lunch combines all of their branded products. The YouTuber's Feastables milk chocolate bar, a bottle of Paul and KSI sports drink Prime Hydration, and one of 3 packaged food options, including pizza, nachos, or turkey and cheese with crackers. Once again, it's very comparable to the Lunchable, only it has a energy drink that has enough caffeine to power 3 rhinos. I think it's 400 milligrams or some shit like that. So obviously it's not good for you. It's pretty fucking bad on its face, but I can understand it as a person who has grown to drink energy drinks every fucking day. That wasn't the end of the day for me. And once again, I mean, hey, I've heard really bad things about the Feastables in terms of the chocolate not being that great, but I ate Hershey chocolate bars, so these are all things that I could just fucking get over. Once again, we're in a capitalist society. If these 3 motherfuckers weren't gonna make a Lunchley meal, someone else fucking would. You know what I mean? It's just too easy. It's too low-hanging fruit, and there's just there's no regulation to really stop them outside of maybe some FDA shit. But let's get to once again the task at hand, or I should say the mold in the case. Rosanna Pansino, a cookbook author and YouTuber with 14.5 million subscribers, posted a video of herself opening a package of Lunchly's The Pizza meal kit, which contains disc-shaped pizza dough, packaged pizza sauce, shredded mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, and a cherry freeze flavored prime drink, and a milk chocolate Feastables bar. Also, I wanted to note too, this is kind of a bit of breaking news that I saw either today, yesterday. Pansino has definitely like made her own kind of campaign to be like, I'm gonna slay Mr. Beast. Like, I mean, I don't think she's saying it like that, but that's essentially how it kind of looks to me. Look, I get it. It's a good clout move to do. You can say, hey, I'm doing it for the kids or whatever, but this is also something that's just gonna get your brand even more attention. And I mean, hey, go for it. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there, trying to aim at the motherfucker at the top. I get it. Especially when he's doing shit like this. But apparently she got some information that there was like more chat leaks, like from the work chat of Mr. Beast, like the Mr. Beast team. And apparently he was saying and doing a lot more shit that was initially mentioned. Like, I know, like, oh yeah, when he was a teenager, he said the N-word and like said some weird shit about the Cash Me Outside girl that was very inappropriate and very strange and weird. But apparently there was just more of that, worse stuff. Apparently I didn't really dig too deep into it. I figured, hey, if you want to go tell Tattletale to the FBI, by all means, do your thing. But if the FBI takes it and runs with it, and then he's in a Diddy situation, then I'll talk about it. Really, truly, I'll dig in. But once again, it just felt like you're doing a clout surf. And call me mean, call me crazy. Maybe I'm coming at this from the wrong fucking way. But I just don't like that. Like, this seemingly is a person who has her own fucking thing going here and now has chosen to be like, I hate Mr. Beast. I'm going to make all my content about saying how bad he is. And it's like, okay, but yet I don't think you're trying to stop any of the situations, any of the environment that is allowing a Mr. Beast to thrive and do this shit and sell moldy cheese to kids for money. So, I don't know, just whatever. But also, this isn't the first time I didn't cover it, back then. Well, I guess this would have been before my time. This is when I was just door dashing that I kind of started hearing this shit. But with the Mr. Beast burgers, they were really fucking bad. Like, people were saying, I'm getting undercooked food. Like, this shit is not all right. Like, you're trying to kill me, fucking Jimmy. What are we doing here? And essentially, Mr. Beast's reasoning behind that was, hey, dude, I just have my name on this. Like, I'm not checking all the burgers, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's a big cop-out, man. Like, if you're selling shitty, bad food to people, and it's so bad that, like, you're potentially trying to kill them or whatever, like, come on, dude. Like, that's more than just, hey, that's on the company, not me. Like, that, no, it's kind of on both of you. But yeah, let's get back to the moldy cheese. However, as I'm getting her name wrong, Pansino filmed herself opening the Lunchly box. She claimed that the blue mold was growing on the cheese. This is molded, she said in a video, which has been viewed more than 883,000 times since it was posted on October 19th. This is not safe. Okay, apparently this was, more groundbreaking or older news than I thought. But whatever. To make sure she hadn't opened a faulty Lunchly box, Pansino checked the expiration date on the package, which was labeled used by December 8th, 2024. While she had initially intended to compare Lunchly's nutritional value to its Lunchly's competitor in a video, the YouTuber instead warned children about the dangers of ingesting mold. Which, I get it. I guess kids might be dumb and could potentially eat it, but it's like, that should go without saying. Like, okay, yeah, dude, don't eat the fucking mold. But yeah, obviously this isn't a good look. It's not all right. But in a statement to The Independent, a spokesperson for Paul said that all Lunchly products undergo strict review by health officials. That process consists of multiple inspections and approvals, including that of the USDA, before any product can leave the manufacturing facility, they said. The Independent has contacted Mr. Beast and Lunchly for further comment. Also, this is something I didn't know. Earlier this year, Lunchables, which is owned by Kraft Heinz Company, announced its ready-to-eat packaged meals will soon be... Oh, sorry, it skipped on me. Will soon be incorporated into school lunch programs. The major initiative prompted Lunchables to develop a new version of the snack kit to meet federal guidelines, which is crazy. It wasn't meeting it before. I was like, what? Huh? However, an April 2024 report from the Consumer Reports later found that even higher levels of sodium in the Lunchables served in schools compared to those in the stores. So that's not a good trade-off. You don't want to be giving a high salt content to anyone. It's definitely a really bad thing for anyone's diet, no matter what your age, especially if you're young, right? Now that's not to say, because I know I've kind of made this comparison with that in the Lunchly to be like, see, they're about the same, but like I do understand, and I'm wrong that like no, the Lunchly is a Lunchables plus in terms of being worse for a child, because it has like, instead of like the Oreos, it has the Feastables, which I kind of imagine is probably somehow worse, or whatever candy that they usually put in there. I'm not sure. And then also, just take the candy aside, it's the Prime that's doing a lot of damage. Like, I waited till I was in my later teens, right? I think, till I started drinking Monsters and energy drinks. But I'm sure I've told the story before. But there was one time where I literally switched to a like Rockstar energy drink diet. I don't know. This was like my first time trying to like really lose weight, and it was not a healthy move. It was not okay. I wound up at the doctor for some unrelated thing, and I had to like pee in a cup, and they're like, "Did you know there's blood in your urine?" And I literally was like, oh no. I knew immediately what was the reason, because I had switched to only eating once a day and drinking 2 Monsters or 2 Rockstar energy drinks to like supplement my diet. So obviously that's not something that you should give a kid, you know what I mean, every day. Like, that's probably fucking their shit up. But once again, even that aside, I guarantee you, if that doesn't fuck them up and make them glow, the fucking moldy cheese is definitely going to take them out. So, that's not a good look. So maybe for me, that's the line where I go, okay, look, man, even I am not trying to defend Mr. Beast at all. Paisiano, you can have him. Go nuts. Slay the dragon. Take out your Jabberwocky. I don't know, man. But once again, what happens? What happens in a post Mr. Beast world? Please tell me. Because it seems to me that we're just going to fill the void with another Mr. Beast. He's just going to be another guy. He's going to be another quirky motherfucker, Is it going to be iShow Speed Meal? Is it going to be a Kai Cenat thing? I mean, I'm down. Cool, whatever. But, like, it just doesn't matter, bro. I just wish that we were really more on trying to stop motherfuckers like this from being a thing. And I mean, not to say that it's like it's wrong to get your bad shit. I'm a content guy. I'm not a successful one. Like, obviously I want to see people do their thing and have fun with it. But, when the pursuit is to do this shit to make a gobs of money and and there's no real regulation on that, there's no real control valve on that, then of course you're going to find someone who's rushing to fill that spot. So I don't know. I know I'm already in the weeds on this shit. We can definitely boo Lunchly for sure now. Tomato. Get some tomatoes in there. Hopefully there's some real tomatoes in that sauce. I don't even fucking know. But yeah, from one food story to another, let's go ahead and take our last break. I'm kind of trying to close this out a little bit earlier today. A couple of lighter days. I think maybe it's because we're closer to the election. I'm just not seeing a lot of news that I really like. Like, I know I could have talked about Elon Musk talking with Putin, before the takeover of Twitter and yada shit. But it's just like, I'm sick of talking about this dark MAGA fucker, dude. Like, boo, get out of here. You fucking suck. There's other stories. Sometimes I just don't really want to talk about them. So I wanted to talk about the ones I wanted to today, But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break and we'll go ahead and close it out. Oh, excuse me. From law and crime. Uber Eats driver caught stealing food, spits in customer's face, steals hundreds in yard decorations. Police. So this was a doozy. A 29-year-old Uber Eats driver in Florida allegedly spit in a customer's face and stole hundreds of dollars in outdoor decorations from the victim's home after she confronted the driver about stealing food from her bag before it was delivered. Alexandra Devalle Acosta Aguilar. I don't know why Aguilar fucked me up on all of that. I also realized, like, when I was reading this, I didn't understand that was a whole combined name. I'm dumb. But she was taken into custody last week and charged with one count of burglary with assault and one count of grand theft from a dwelling greater than $100, court records show. According to a probable cause affidavit, the female victim on the evening of September 12th of 2024 ordered food to be delivered to her home through Uber Eats. At about 11:56 p.m., the victim said she observed her delivery driver, later identified as Acosta Aguilar, removing food from the bag that she had ordered. So this already is an act of violence just alone. And I'm saying this as a former, ex, food delivery guy. Like, if you're going to eat someone's food, and once again, this is not something I did, but I definitely heard some stories where if you're going to take someone's food, you're not going to drive up to their house and then be like, what you got though? And then like, oh, well, take a little bit for Papa and then like send the rest. No, you're just not going to fucking bring the food. Like, it's just a robbery. And guess what? I'm probably not clocking into this shit again. Because, like, there's only maybe one or two times that you can really do that kind of shit before they just ban your account. But I guess, once again, this is a situation where it's like you're trying to have your cake and give it back to the customer, too. I don't know. But it also seems like, once again, maybe you're looking to do more. Like, you're trying to start something. That's kind of my vibe here. I don't know. I'm not in Aguilar's head. I'm not a mine hunter. But when the victim went outside, she noticed that Costa Aguilar was holding a decorative sign from outside her home that read, "Happy Fall, y'all," which is like, oh, you really want to take from me today, huh? Now you want to sample my lawn works, my fucking decorations? The victim had removed the sign from the suspect's possession, and the suspect began a verbal altercation with the victim prior to intentionally spitting on the victim against her will, police wrote. Immediately after being spat on, the victim covered herself with a sign and retreated to the furthest point from the suspect before being stopped by the closed front door. I'm sorry. That meant she was running in panic. She's doing like a Gears of War style roadie run. Like she's being attacked by a locust alien. And she just, I'm sorry, picturing it in my head, smacks into her own front door. Girl, you gotta focus. You're in the line of fire. You want to fight for this goddamn furniture shit? You gotta fucking stand up. The suspect then took possession of a decorative garden urn valued at approximately $10 and began walking to her vehicle. So at this point in the article, I'm thinking $10. How do we get to 100? But I guess we don't stop there. At that point, the victim said she saw a decorative column from her yard near Acosta Aguilar's car. Acosta Aguilar then, I guess, yeah, this is her whole last name. I have to say it like a pimp named Slickback, at least on this half. Then allegedly loaded the victim's property into her car and drove away before police could arrive. Immediately after the altercation, the victim said she realized that she was also missing additional decorative outdoor items, which brought the total cost of the allegedly stolen merchandise to $300. So I guess she just did some quick math and said, "Oh my gosh, my column is gone. This is gone. My spooky skeleton." Like, I don't know. I don't know what the whole inventory was from this article, but I guess she lost more than just about $10 here, and it was $300. Police quickly found that Acosta Aguilar was employed through Uber Eats, and a car similar to the one described by the victim was registered in her name. Officers went to Acosta Aguilar's residence, and she confirmed that she did deliver the food to the victim's address on the night of the incident, per the affidavit. So I guess that was maybe her grand plan. I'm going to sample the goods. Once again, take a little bit from mama. And then I delivered the food, though. Hey, maybe they fucked up and they forgot your fry or whatever. Your chips? I don't know. That wasn't on me. But no, they saw you. But once again, you would do that before you got on the street. That's sloppy. No, that's not good. Don't do that. No. Rest in peace, Matumbo. But yes, police said that the victim's description of the suspect appeared to match Acosta Aguilar based on the employment records and statements from the victim and Acosta Aguilar. She was placed under arrest. Acosta Aguilar is currently being held at Polk County Jail. Records indicate that she is not eligible for bond as of Monday afternoon. So yeah, a little bit of a doozy there. As a guy who lives in an apartment, I'm not kin to any of my, I don't have any lawn stuff. I don't have any spooky gnomes or any decorative columns or skeletons with pumpkin heads. I like seeing it. I think because I don't have a home to do that kind of stuff, I do like seeing people's stuff. But I would think in a moment, I'm not ready to fight over a lawn gnome or some shit. I'm cool, man. I'm gonna watch that shit from my Ring camera if it's my house, my hypothetical house. You can have it. And yeah, if I see you munching on my fucking food, I'm probably not gonna try to make a fucking big deal about this. Maybe I would. Maybe I pop fresh, because I know me these days. I be talking slick sometimes. I be saying some shit sometimes. I'm kind of getting in my pre-curmudgeon era. And maybe that's gonna get me into trouble one day. I hope it doesn't, because I don't want no problems. All right, not really. I just be popping out the gum sometimes. I just got a little mouth on me. But I don't think I'm riding or dying for it. It's fall, y'all. You can have it. I'll just boop boop boop, call it up. I'll get my fucking refund. Yeah, Uber Eats, you'll never believe this. But yeah, man, look, I've definitely, once again, I'm gonna get anecdotal here to close it out. I've been on the other end of this, once again, as a food delivery person. And I've had people call on me saying, hey, this person didn't deliver my food. When I know good and damn well, I delivered your food as fast as I fucking could in the fucking rain in my bald ass tires. No, bitch, I saw you open the door and your little fucking spooky ass hand take your shit and then say I didn't deliver your food. So I've been on the other shit and this shit, and I've been just screwed over, where it's like, hey, if DoorDash doesn't believe me here, I'm not getting my fucking pay. In fact, this could be bad for me. But I think back then, it was right before the era of DoorDash, or the phase of DoorDash where they said you have to start taking pictures of every order to complete it. Like, it became annoying about it. And I'm kind of glad that it did at that point, because once I had that experience, I was like, yeah, I'm for sure taking a picture. In that moment, I remember being like, yeah, I'm going to walk away and not really worry about it. I kind of hear the door opening. It's raining. I just want to get fucking home. And that shit floored me. So I remember I was very litigious, very rigid about it. And there was at least one or two times where I have gotten to eat the customer's food, but it was on the legit. It was totally ethical. And it was in a situation where they canceled their order. So it's like, hey, I got this Red Robin. I done driven all the way from this Red Robin all the way to your funky little hotel. I'm here in the parking lot. I'm about to ask you where you are, and so I can give you your food. And I come to see on the thing, oh, the order's been canceled. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with it? And I was just like, yeah, I guess I could just fucking eat it. So there you go. A little bit of anecdotal, little personal stories there to close it out. So hey. And hey, on either side of this, it's not worth it, y'all. Don't eat nobody's food. I get it, doing the Dash and shit, doing the Uber Eats shit, it's a grind. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping, I don't want to say hoping, that's the wrong word, but thinking maybe there was gonna be a bit of mental health here or whatever. But I also get it, man. People snap. People say, hey, I'm gonna go dark today. I'm just gonna take it there. But hey, if you're listening to this on your Dash route, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't eat that food. Don't take that sign. Just be cool. Be cool, Johnny. Be cool. All right, that's it. That's where I want to leave it for the day. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/AzanNews. If you'd like to support the effort, I cannot believe this episode has gone as long as it has. I'm sorry. But hey, hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you've enjoyed the yap. Like I said, hopefully enough to give me some money. But yeah, you do get a shout out at the top of the month. That's coming up. Plug a name, plug your project if you like. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. please subscribe to the YouTube. Love seeing the subscriber count go up. That's really cool. It's a free way to really help out. I'm on the road to 500. I think we're at like 83, 84 last time I checked. But hey, that's okay. I'm fine with being a small batch amateur podcaster. At the end of the day, no matter what, I really just appreciate the friends, the family, just the random people who just say, hey, I enjoy you yapping. I like the sound of your voice, believe it or not. And I don't believe it. So thank you. You really put a smile on my face. So that's it. That's where I'll leave it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.